Coast 104.5, it is Up and Adam in the morning. Okay, we got our sound issue fixed. We've got Sammy Jackson from Zoo to You live from Paso. What's going on, Sammy? Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
It's great to see you. The zoo looks absolutely beautiful. What a beautiful Paso Robles morning up there.
It is. It is very chilly though.
Is it cold?
It's crisp.
It is crisp, but I mean it's good. I missed this. I missed the cold.
Yeah, it got into like the 30s overnight there.
Oh yeah, it was 39 when we were loading animals this
Really?
morning.
And now it's 34.
Oh, and now it's 34. Yes, you can. For any of you on Facebook Live.
the cold breath. Okay, so it is exotic Halloween animal time. And
Yeah,
when you were thinking, what did you want to bring out?
So this right here is so he's super special. This is Jalapeno, and he is what's called a Gila monster. Now, we brought him because he is black and orange, and he is a very Halloween colored animal. And these guys are also called a monster, but they're really not. In Mexico, where they're from, they're actually called a beaded lizard. And it's the same thing. But this is actually a venomous lizard. It took us 5 years to get permits for these guys because there is so little known about them that they thought that they didn't have a opening to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah?
So the way they thought they killed people or killed anything was through their breath. They thought that everything just putrefied in them. And it's actually published in scientific magazines that what they do is they don't have an anal opening and they can't go to the bathroom. So everything just putrefies inside of them. And then when they go and breathe on you, that it kills you.
No way.
So it actually took us 5 years to get permits for these guys. We had to convince them that that's not true. That venom is from their bite, which is the definition of venom versus poison. Poison is ingested. Venom is injected. So their venom actually comes from their bite, but they actually even have to just kind of chew on you. Their venom comes from their back teeth, like way back here. These are their venom sacs right here. Jalapeno's been with us for about 15 years. Oh, maybe even more than that now. But their venom comes from way back here, so they actually kind of have to like gnaw on you to even get the venom in. So it's not that easy for them to even inject you, and he's such a good boy. He's our little star.
When you have an animal like that in its natural place, are they just like walking up and down the street? Are they like in the rainforest? Like, where would you find one of those?
So these guys are a desert animal, and they live in like the Sonoran Desert and like the Mojave and stuff like that. But what happens is we mostly only have boys in captivity because when we finally got our permit and we found a rehab facility that like rehabilitates them back into the wild, they had over 50 male Gila monsters. Because here's what happens. The boys, if you pick them up and move them, because people do all the time, just like they do with tortoises, if you pick them up and move them, the boys just stand in one spot. If you pick up and move a girl, she'll go back. She'll find her territory, no problem. The boys will literally stand in one spot. If you even move them more than 20 feet, they will stand in one spot until they die. Because you know why?
Why?
Boys don't ask for directions. Yeah, no. So we mostly, they were like, can you take 20 Gila monsters? And we were like, whoa. I think we took about 8 of them at the time, and this is our last standing.
What do they eat?
What?
So what do they eat?
They eat, they're carnivores, so they eat small rodents and things like that, mostly mice, and they'll eat bugs and things like that. They will also eat fruits and veggies a little bit, but not very much. They love eggs, so in the wild, they would go raid turtle nests and things like that. But and find mice, but they're not very fast, so I don't know how they catch mice in the wild. It's so funny. Sometimes we get animals in and we'll be feeding them mice or something, and we'll be holding it right in front of their face, and I'm like, I don't know how you would survive in the wild because they can't even catch it right in front of their face from a mouseicle.
They have that really cool tongue that splits in half.
Yes, they do. We're going to talk about that a little later because we actually have 3 animals today that have that same tongue. So that tongue is split in half. It's how they smell. It's how they find their prey and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to talk more about these guys because how their venom won't kill a human, but it is extremely painful, and it'll send you to the hospital for quite a few days. But we'll go ahead and say goodbye to Jalapeno.
Bye, Jalapeno.
Bye.
Cute little Gila monster.
I know, he's so cool. We're so lucky to have him. He's an awesome little dude.
Pan around, Cambria. It looks really pretty over there today.
Fork tongue.
Huh?
Can you pan around and look at the zoo? Like, it looks really like a nice morning there.
We have those over
Absolutely
here.
gorgeous today.
Yeah, Paso's got great mornings.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have the little shade structure over here.
Oh, it's okay.
We don't have any hot air balloons this morning.
Yeah, that was cool last time. We saw a cool hot air balloon sighting.
Crazy.
I guess they're doing some new program out here. A hot air balloon deal out at the airport.
Yeah, they keep landing in our field.
Yeah.
All right, what you got next, Sammy?
Okay, so this
Whoa.
is an Argentinian Tegu. This is Pixel. And he also has that really cool forked tongue. You can see, there it is. His is so much longer. It's
Wow.
even yeah, look at
That
that
thing
thing.
looks like a literal dinosaur. That thing looks like it came from prehistoric times.
He's the best boy. So as far as pets go, these guys are awesome. Tegus are big snugglers, and he really is. And you can see his big pouch right here. This one is not venomous. He is totally safe, but he is an awesome little dude. And he's like, why did you wake me up, Mom? These guys love to eat eggs. They're mostly raiding stuff like that, and they're grabbing small mammals and things like that. Oh, well, I know.
They eat eggs? Is that what you said? They eat eggs?
Yeah, they eat eggs. They eat eggs a lot.
Whoa.
You see him
Whose
kind of
eggs do they eat?
playing for you guys right now. I know.
That thing looks so interesting. I don't
He's
think
like, you woke me up this morning, Mom. So we're going to talk about that tongue. So that tongue is how they smell. It's a lot of reptilians that have that same exact forked tongue, because what happens is they don't have those big nostrils like we do. They're not very good at smelling. So they developed something else. What happens is they take that tongue, they stick it out, they wiggle it around, they collect all these particles that are floating around in the air, they bring it back into their mouth. They put that forked tongue into these two holes in the roof of their mouth called a Jacobson's organ. And that Jacobson's organ is how they smell. So the way we smell is we collect those same particles into our nose. So like say somebody's baking cookies and you smell the fresh cookies. It's little itty bitty pieces of cookie floating around in the air, and then it goes up your nose, and that's how you smell. Or if it's like fresh cut grass and you smell the grass, it's little itty bitty particles of grass floating around in the air, and then it goes up your nose. Or if you were to like step in a big pile of dog doo-doo,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you smell the dog poop,
Right.
little itty bitty pieces of poop going up your nose.
Yeah.
And so aren't we so glad we don't have to collect it on our tongue first?
Yeah, right. I love that.
So
What
they
a cool
collect it on their
animal.
tongue, they bring it into their mouth, they put it up into that Jacobson's organ, and that's how they smell. And that's how they smell what they want to eat or whatever. But these guys are super, you wouldn't think so, but this is actually camouflage. That broken up pattern gives that light and dark effect. So if he were to be in a grass area, you wouldn't even see him. And these guys are so low to the ground most of the time. You're standing up like a very handsome man, Pixel. Yes, you're a good boy.
I love that. Wow. Do we have time for one more?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's see what you got. We got Zoo to You here. Up and Adam in the morning. We're live on the Coast Facebook page. You can check it out if you want to check out video of these exotic Halloween animals. And then we're going to come back. From what I understand, we're going to be introduced to some of the wolf rescue animals, Cambria, right?
Yep,
Yes,
absolutely.
they are.
That's going to be cool. All right, what's this? Well, who's that? Oh, is that our pixie frog?
That's our
Yeah.
pixie frog. Look at you, Adam. You have learned to sing over the years. So this is Dewey Hopper, and he is an African pixie frog or an African bullfrog. He's not even half grown yet. When he's full grown, he'll be about this big.
Wow.
They can get up to 10 inches wide in diameter. And these guys are amazing. So in Africa, they live in that hot, dry climate. They live in the in the desert there. And what happens is, well, during the wet season, there's only 2 seasons in Africa. There's the wet season and there's the dry season. Now, during the wet season, everything's fine. He's got that big watering hole that everybody drinks out of that you see on all the movies with the giraffes and the zebras and the hippos and the whatever drinking out of the watering hole. But when the dry season comes and the watering hole starts to dry up, well, all of those other really big animals like the elephants and the rhinos and the wildebeest and everything start to do their migration. They go to find a new watering hole. That's what drives them. But for this guy, obviously, he's not going very far.
Right.
He's got teeny little legs. He can't even barely jump. So what he does is he sucks up as much water as he can into these big canteens on his side, and then he starts to dig. You know what he digs with?
His hands?
His butt.
He
He digs with his big old booty.
looks like a little Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. Oh, just you wait. Just you wait. No, so these guys, they dig down, they make a big cave, they make this like little home for themselves underground. They find that big muddy spot. They eat as much as they can. They fill up these water sacks on the side, and then it's a frog, so they can actually breathe through their skin. They absorb everything through their skin. They're what's called an indicator species. So when you have a lot of frogs in your area, it actually means that your water system, that all of your area is super healthy. Because if the frogs aren't healthy because they absorb everything through their skin, then your water is not healthy. Then the rest of your land is not healthy. So when you have frogs in your area and you hear those during the summer when they start to come back out again, that means your area is super healthy. But they can absorb everything through their skin. They can also let everything out through their skin. So as the dirt starts to dry and they're in that hole, they pack themselves in, all that water would just evaporate through their skin. So they do something kind of gross. They cover their entire body in a snot bubble. And
Wow.
he's got a little bit right here. He does it to us sometimes. They cover their entire body in a snot bubble. And what happens is that snot bubble dries and hardens, and it creates like a Ziploc baggie around their body to keep all that water in. And then
What
they
a
go to
trick.
sleep.
All right, we're going to come back. We got Zoo to You here, Sammy Jackson from Zoo to You. We're going to come back. We're going to look at some of the wolves. I don't think we got a pup wolf. We're going to look at some more exotic Halloween animals. Make them do the Jabba the Hutt thing.
Yes, I will. Okay, here we go. And
Just wanna- Oh my gosh, look at that. I do love that. Look at that little thing. He's just like it. All right, more coming up. Zoo to You. You can go on the Coast Facebook page and check it out. It's up and Adam in the morning.